Hey everybody, Garfield, Mayor Richard Rigoglioso. I'm sitting here doing our podcast right now. I'm sitting here with the Queen of Spice.
Yes.
All right, right over there, Jasmine. All right, everybody say hello to Jasmine.
Hey.
Jasmine.
What up, Jasmine?
Definitely a
To my left,
Garfieldian.
you're right, or wherever you're sitting. All right, I got Chris Braitsch, Garfield Middle School language arts teacher. But more importantly than that is, he is the founder of the Strangers Helping Strangers. All right, so, you know, we got a great little crowd going on here. We got about 100 people in the audience.
You don't want people to say hi to me and clap?
No. Oh,
Miss
we're
Jasmine?
going to clap
All right.
for Mr. Braitsch over here.
Hey.
Those are all his students
Yep,
that he failed.
in school.
I'm sad. Yes. Okay.
So, you know, first, I want to talk to you, Chris.
Yes, sir.
How did you get involved in Strangers Helping Strangers?
In 2020, COVID hit, as you all know. And in March, maybe March 15th, school was shut down, virtual, right? So
We only got 40 minutes.
yeah, I know.
Okay.
You took about 20 already with your intro, so I figure I'll go quick.
Okay.
So real quick, I
He's still
have
going.
all the time, right? I'm a teacher. I was single at the time. I have no kids. So I'm like, people need help.
Wait, you're taking now?
I am taking it out.
And
ladies.
has kids? Oh, I don't have no kids. I'm okay.
He's my main kid, but you know,
Yeah.
my favorite. But long story short, I put a post up in my contact in my condo building saying, look, any of you can't get out, get groceries, you're old, you have families, whatever, let me know, I'll help you. And then I put something on Facebook. Anybody want to help me do this? A couple people reached out, and then we just started rolling. We started handing out food. Meals on Wheels had to stop in Garfield,
Yep.
right? We took over for them, and we were giving out thousands of pounds of food in Garfield 3 to 4 times a week for the first 6 months of COVID.
I think in the first month, you served over like 4,000
Oh yeah, easy,
families or
Easy.
meals
Mhm.
in the first month
easy.
when
And
COVID hit.
that was just
With the mask, the gloves,
yeah.
forget about
That's
it.
amazing.
And then
Yep.
houses we had a weekend or 3 weeks where like 6 houses burned down in Garfield. So we would go first on the scene because Red Cross only gives them like $400 or something.
Yeah.
We'd
Oh.
get their situation and we put them up in a hotel for a week. We get them
Clothes.
clothes, furniture, whatever
them
they needed,
shelter.
everything, and to rebuild as well.
Yeah.
So that's how it started, to answer you. And what it snowballed into is something I never thought of.
He has over 40 people that work for him.
Yeah, volunteer. We're all 100% volunteer from me down.
100%. Every Friday, you could catch about those 40 people with Chris handing out food to about maybe 400
No, we serve about 830 something people
Every Friday.
Every Friday.
every Friday.
And we don't cancel for any weather. Rain,
Nope.
ice, heat, my people, we're there because hunger doesn't cancel for weather. So,
That's true.
you know, who are we to?
So he found the food insecurities, not just in Garfield, but the neighboring towns around here. And he's taken that. And at the middle school, he has students that volunteer
Mhm.
now, the Strangers Helping Strangers, middle schoolers
Mhm.
that help out, and they parlay that into their high school, and then they follow through their families.
And with the blessing of Mr. Riggs, we just,
You see that? Mr. Riggs. Yeah, no, Mr. Riggs.
you're not Mayor Riggs.
before I'm AU. That's what I am. AU over here.
We could talk about what nicknames for me you have. Okay, not on air.
Yeah,
Um,
no.
but-
This is like PG-13, maybe?
Well, it was at the beginning,
yeah.
but
Oh, yeah.
we
Forget
built
about
our first food pantry, middle school food pantry, run by myself and the volunteer crew that I run. And we have it stocked and organized, and we help families of students in town. And they get to learn how to stock and organize, keep track, as well as helping. They also help. They're amazing. We'll be outside in the winter collecting winter coats for the homeless, collecting 7,000 socks.
And what do we do during Christmas?
Christmas is the biggest.
This is the nicest thing.
So 2020 was the first year we started Christmas. We do a Strangers Helping Strangers autism toy drive, where we collect toys that are sensory based, you know, for autistic population. We have 2 drives, one every a week apart, and the next 2 weeks, all of the kids in my crew, we organize them, wrap them, and label them by each kid. There's 180 something kids in town that qualify, and then we deliver them one gift to all of them before
Even
Christmas.
Santa Claus shows up.
Even Santa Claus shows up.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's you know, not just saying Mr. Riggs, he does get his hands dirty a lot since the beginning.
Yeah, they're dirty
but
now.
but besides giving plugs for him, it's the staff. at the middle school that helps. It's the citizens, the residents, not just Garfield. We have 80-year-olds rocking with us all day long. I had this one woman, Hilda, I'm giving you a shout out.
Hilda's in the house.
Hilda's a 78-year-old Hungarian woman who outworks everybody. She has one eye, doesn't work.
What?
She's fine with it. She rocks out. She'll be there. It was 90.
You just got to stand to the left.
Yeah.
She'll see you then.
Yeah, or the right if you don't want her to see you.
Yeah.
At the end of this day, one time, eight hours in, 95 degrees out, she's in the dumpster, hopping down, pushing
the cardboard boxes down.
So what I didn't realize was that, we're helping people, but it's the people you help them with along the way that becomes your family. Friday nights, we're handing out dinners and food, and I'm hanging out with 70-year-olds, 80-year-olds, 13-year-olds, and everybody in between. And that's what it's all about.
They're playing music, dancing.
Loud,
Yeah,
See, music creates the vibe, and you put it loud enough, they can't talk, so they work harder. So
see, there's a method to
yeah,
madness.
a little bit,
Okay.
sometimes.
You know, but he's been doing this way before he found Strangers Helping Strangers. So from the middle school, he's always helped out, volunteered his time with the students after school. He's a soccer coach, always a winning soccer coach. Anytime we ask him to do something, he's always willing to lend a hand. He always
Advisor.
recruits teachers and students and family members. So way before even that happened. But this is the good story now. So about 7 years ago, 7 years ago, I was thinking about running for the council. So I'm sitting in his apartment, his condo, sitting there. We're bending our elbows, having some belly laughs. You know, a nice cheap bourbon, an expensive cigar. It was an expensive bourbon, cheap cigar.
Yeah, because you bought the wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
You bought the wrong one.
Yeah.
he
what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and when I said, cuz I said, I think I'm going to run for city council.
And I said, "What's that?"
Yeah, he thought it was student council.
Right. I'm like,
He's
what are you
like,
talking about?
don't you got to be a student? So you can see where we were going with that. And I was going along with that. I said, I think you're right. I don't know.
What is the steps? Like, how does this look like?
Right. So he's like, I think I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. He's like,
And,
hopefully I get the fifth
He
place.
encouraged me. A couple other people encouraged me. And from there, he became, one of my campaign managers.
yeah.
We did a grassroots campaign, and from there, the rest of the story is. And they still think that, like, you write all my material.
I know. Oh, my God.
Anytime I write something,
Right.
can you tell Mr. Braitsch stop writing for you and everything like that?
And that's an insult to my teaching ability.
Yes.
Because I taught you, and now look, you're an amazing writer.
Yeah,
But
I'm like Shakespeare.
You were his. Wait, I'm confused.
okay, no. So people think
Yeah,
that
you
I
should get
write
that.
his stuff
I
behind
told
the
I confused
scenes
people.
Okay.
for him.
Okay.
And they go, no way, he wrote that. But
Yeah.
no, he does write that.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
See, they mistaken. Sometimes I think better than I talk.
Yeah. It's
I'm the
from
same
here.
way.
It's from here to
Yeah.
here that
Yeah.
it's something.
Some adjectives will come out of my mouth every now and then.
Right.
But I can't write that. So I write it, then I gotta edit it, then I gotta sometimes you edit it for me.
Yeah. Oh, and everybody's.
Yeah.
That's what people do.
Sometimes you edit it,
But
but
the best part of a good part of that story is so the night of the results coming in. Now the whole time he's telling me, I hope I can get that fifth spot. He's like, I'll be lucky to squeak in, right? And I'm like,
see, I
all
just
right.
wanted to be relevant
Right. He
at
just,
that point.
just
You
want to
told
get in
me
the
this
door, right?
story.
Yeah.
So the numbers coming in, I'm like adding them up on the, holy shit, we're going to win this. So we win it. Everybody's celebrating, right? He out in the parking lot on the phone. I'm out in the parking lot. Some people are asking me, so is he going to be the mayor? First vote getter gets it. And I'm like, from what he's been saying, hoping he just gets the fifth spot. I'm like, nah, he's probably going to take this term off, learn, and then do it. 2 minutes later, he's like, I'm going to be the mayor.
But wait a minute. The story is that I left it up to him. So he's a language arts teacher. So math is not his strong point.
Correct.
Yeah.
And maybe he was 2 sheets to the wind. I don't know. You know, so he tied into all that stuff. So what happened was that as he's adding things up, this is simple math.
Yeah. Because you're just counting the votes.
But the numbers were, but the numbers were coming to me.
We were way off the number.
Yeah. Yeah. But we still won.
Yeah, we won. But when he counted, I think we won by like 4 votes.
Right. Well, it's not like you were in last place. That would have been a huge
So what
embarrassment
was
if you were
the
last
number
place.
then?
I forget.
7,045.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're just making it.
wow.
Yeah.
I was like 4 votes. I was like, wow.
No, but I mean that's not a knock on any of the other candidates running. But it's just a testament to the voters really valuing person's personality and human qualities as opposed to words that come out their mouth.
Yeah.
And that's why
Human
he's still here.
quality. Yeah, cuz
Yeah.
I got some money in my
Later,
pocket,
later,
you know?
with the rest.
Oh yeah, they got us on tape now. That's like a
Yeah.
bribe or something like that.
I've
I feel
already
like,
been
Mr.
accused.
Riggs, you got to give yourself enough credit. I feel like I don't hear that a lot from you. I feel like you almost like get surprised when, you know, good things are said about you.
I get embarrassed. I don't like.
I feel that. I feel that.
Know how I feel?
How?
With my hands.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get that.
You got
I get that. I get that.
That joke.
What I'm trying to say is like, I guess, know whose lives you've impacted in a positive way. You know what I mean? Like you got in those votes because you impacted people. You know what I mean? Just kind of like how he said, like they went off of your personality and who you are based off of like, you know, being, oh, I was doing this for this many years.
I'm going to go broke here.
Yeah.
Man. Everybody
I'm
saying,
just
"Well,
saying.
And you're right, but
Be
now in
kinder
his
to
defense,
yourself. Like you're a great person.
in his defense, I'm the same. It's awkward when people give me compliments.
Yeah.
I give credit to everybody else. Like I understand where he's coming from, but without the I don't care about politics much. But the politicians, the leaders, I should say, in Garfield as well as Elmwood Park, are a big part of the reason why we were as successful as we are as Strangers Helping Strangers, because there's a lot of red tape to cross and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And they were big time. So I can't say thank you enough. He's blushing, so don't film him right now, okay?
Yeah,
But,
you know, listen, I just like, you know, I do these things sometimes because I just want to do them. And
You're a good fella.
And get involved.
Right.
And, you know, it's always good to hang out with people.
Yeah.
And you tell stories, you have belly laughs. That's what it's all about. It's just having a good time. You know, you show up to work, you have some good times there with your colleagues and friends. And that's what it's all about. You know, I enjoy what I do. I mean, I've been getting tattooed lately, right?
Yeah. But
You know, it doesn't matter what happens. I get tattooed because, you know, God forbid, you can't do one job, you know.
Because a handful of people writing it,
Yeah.
but it gets to you, you know?
It gets to them, not to me.
Right, obviously.
You know, they think it gets to me, but I got that short-term memory. What are we talking about?
Right.
Kind of lost me
Like
there.
10
A
seconds.
little bit. Okay.
Yeah. So now we got the queen of Spice.
Yes.
Garfield Res, alum.
Yep, alumni, Garfield resident. Now, tell us what you do.
So I do a little bit of everything.
Everything.
Now, I have my own podcast. It's all about unhindered empowerment. It's called the Mina Mendoza Show. I feel like I'm very grateful, and it's funny because like you mentioning how you started off this, I guess you would say, nonprofit organization.
We're nonprofit, but it didn't start like, didn't even have that, I thought.
But it's a nonprofit
It is now, yes.
And you said, what was it called again? Strangers
Helping Strangers.
Strangers Helping Strangers. What I connected with that story is what you said, how this came about during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like COVID was a scary time. Don't get me wrong. Super scary because I feel like everybody went through their own thing. But one thing that I did find of it is that people, I guess maybe because they had more time on their hands, learn how much worth they had.
Yes.
And it was a time where it's like, hey, I don't even know if I'm going to be going back to my job. What else should I be doing? Maybe, is the world going to end in 2 years? Maybe I should go for what I wanted to always go for. So my path with podcasting started because of COVID. It was literally like that. I was always saying, like, hearing the radio, and I grew up with Hot 97, hearing Angie Martinez, you know, being a Latina just like me, like hearing her power, her voice, and
she's
how
still going strong.
Exactly, still going strong. Went to another radio station.
I know.
And
She has a new song out, I think, recently, or a song or something. I'm not sure.
I know she has dabbled with music. I don't know what she's doing presently, but I do not doubt that person.
Right.
And my concept with podcasting, I just want to be everybody's homegirl. Everybody's, whether you're an artist, a business owner.
Well, you were like that in school, weren't you?
Yeah, like, you know, I want to be everybody's friend.
As well as being a vehicle for people to get their messages and stories out, right? 'Cause that's very important.
But that was the good thing about COVID. I mean, as bad as COVID is, the good thing is some people found themselves.
Absolutely.
And some people reestablish themselves or their identity. I mean, Strangers Helping Strangers and all these volunteers coming around. You decided
the Mina Mendoza
take a
Show.
different challenge.
Yeah.
And you know, those are the great stories. A lot of bad came out of it.
Right.
But then there are some good stories that came out of it where people stepped up to do something different in their lives or or take on a new challenge.
COVID also
Exactly.
shone a light on things that we just took for granted.
Community came together.
Food insecurity.
Yep.
People knew it, but they didn't know it. You know, it was great. And like I said, my organization, none of us knew each other prior to, not one of us.
I'm sure some of those people still wish they didn't know.
Yeah, some of them wish they don't. Yeah, you're right. But hey, they show up every
They
week.
show up.
And their
Nice
family.
food in their house.
And
They
I'm
don't like you. They like the others.
And I'm going to interrupt, and I'm going to give them a shout out to all the stranger family out there. Good job. Thank you very
Strangers
much.
in the house. Everybody give them a shout out.
I love it.
It's awesome.
I love it. It's all positive energy. It's all about people coming together. I know you've expressed this many times that you just want the community, especially the younger community, to come together.
Yep.
So I feel like if we all just got the same purpose in mind of positivity, uniting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just kind of like seeing, because we're not on this earth for such a long time. What can I do to leave a positive footprint?
And that's the ticket.
Yeah.
The way I see it is, well, all the work we do with helping with food, helping with this and that, it's necessary, but it's a Band-Aid. The problem, there's no solution in my mind, but the close one is getting the youth of today, showing them, getting them on the right track.
Well, they got to get involved.
Get them involved.
And for some of the youth that you have, they're involved. And then there's the other youth, right?
Yeah.
And we see it. They're not involved in anything.
No.
You know, and I hate to say some of them actually like believe everything they see or read. It's like reading the National Enquirer.
Right.
You know, mom gave birth to a 3-headed monster, and they believe that story's true. And unfortunately, like they're getting a lot of this false information from
social media,
and they believe it.
Right.
While I think if some of our kids could go out there and just do something positive, let them join a club, a sport, volunteer their time.
Right.
You know, then they got no time because they see things in real life, in real time, as opposed to a lot of these kids, they go home and all they do is
video game and that's
video
it.
game and that's it.
You don't never know what home life they have.
Right, and they're disconnected from society. And like some kids, you hate to say, well, I see adults. Some of these adults, they're like they're socially
impaired.
inept.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just about to say that.
You know.
These kids don't know how to talk. I'm going to just say it. They don't.
And that's one thing we like. So we had.
And when they do talk, it's like, what?
During COVID,
I had a problem talking.
A tad bit sassy, entitled,
Sassy,
and random.
Uh-huh.
It's just
But
like,
then they get real sensitive real quick.
Oh,
This generation.
forget about it.
Real
Well, I
quick.
think that's our fault because everybody had to get a participation trophy.
Yeah, not my
You
fault. I
know,
don't have kids.
The
That's
team
your fault.
stunk. You came in last place. You didn't score a touchdown or a point.
Right.
But here you go, kid.
But
you got something.
bottom line is the youth are going to be taking care of the world when we're older. When you're in a nursing home and I'm like 48 and
I'm
you know,
so scared about that though.
well, that's why
Well,
we have to do what we have to do.
No, I'm going to just
We're
say the
nurses.
generation that like I feel like is happening now because like I am a millennial.
What am I?
I wait, you're
I don't even know.
a boomer? No, you're not a boomer. You're not a boomer.
He might be.
What?
65.
65. 1965 is
The
what?
forgotten period.
It's the forgotten
Yeah.
period. I just
The
feel
best time to grow up. Let me tell you right now.
Yeah.
The late 70s, early 80s. At least I'm in my
You're already
mind.
grown by then.
Yeah, I had a stash. I had a cheesy stash.
generation years chart. I never knew about this until I feel like once COVID happened, nobody was really talking about
Right.
millennials or putting us in like demographics
Gen
like
Z,
that.
Gen X.
Everybody was hating on the millennials for a long time.
For real. But one thing I will say that came out of COVID is that it taught us how to understand boundaries. I
Yeah.
feel like when it came to work, like I came and I'm pretty sure maybe you guys can relate, a generation where it's just like, oh, you're sick, come to work. And it's just kind of like you came to work, you know? And, like,
You were forced. You didn't want to feel like
that's the
one
thing.
missed work.
but I feel like Gen Z took that
I'll be out for 2
and
weeks.
took it too far. Like they'll be like,
Yeah.
I'm just not coming in today.
Right.
Why? It's just not giving. So you have anxiety. Like it's just like,
Right,
so what
right.
does that
Just
mean?
say it, right.
I don't know what
Just
that
to be
means
clear, we
anymore.
are not the same generation, Mr. Mayor and I.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was 56.
Yeah.
I'm
So
65.
Yeah.
you guys are considered 65. You just missed
Again,
the baby boomers.
I was born
Ah,
in
you
I
missed
just-
it by
I told
1
you.
year.
The
Boomer.
boomers, I miss you
I'm
guys.
1981.
The boomers are 1946 to 1964.
All right.
So the next generation is called Generation X, and that's
Oh, I'm an X.
1965 to 1980.
I'm 81.
81. He just made it.
Yeah.
So you are considered
I have
a
a different take.
millennial. Are millennials
Oh, he's one of those
1981
old
to
millennials.
99? But you're like right at that
Yep.
cusp.
I'm
You're a fringe.
Yeah.
What?
New word.
New word.
Wait, is this like a middle school word? Fringe? I'm like, wait, what's that? What's
Kids at
that?
home
No,
don't
no,
use
pull
that
it-
wording for
pull it
context
out.
if it's
Oh
used
my
wrong.
God, that's funny. But you know what? Like, they taught us to have boundaries, and like, I don't know. So another thing, like, that's part of my profession is that I do manage a store.
Mhm.
And during this time, I'm going through a lot of seasonal applications. And that's where I noticed there's a gap with communication, because a lot of these people that I'm getting in that are, you know, just getting out of Garfield, I want to be able to get them the job. But the dependability, the availability, the communication is not there. And it makes me scared.
Even as waiters and waitresses.
Yes.
So I asked.
It's like silence.
I asked someone for a cup of coffee, and the reply was, "You want milk with that, bro?"
Yeah. It's
What?
like almost the
From the store?
etiquette.
It was at a diner.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I just get coffee, and they're like, I think it was, "You want some milk with that, bro?"
Oh,
And I was like, "Nah, bro."
I'm good.
I'm like, I never got.
I mean, it's almost like too relaxed, and it's like, I get it, like, we're trying to be friendly, but it's like there's also like social etiquette that's considered appropriate, and I feel like they don't have that awareness. And I get scared because I'm like, what year were you born? Are you my doctor? Are you gonna
Right,
take me serious?
right,
That's what I started thinking about.
Right.
I'm like, imagine these people now taking the place of surgeons and doctors, and they're like, oh, you'll be fine. Really?
Well,
Like,
nowadays,
for real, for real?
with this
Yeah,
AI
you're not so
going,
sure.
maybe our doctors will
Well,
be
that's something-
replaced with this
yeah, something
AI.
else
and all
What
this
do
stuff.
you mean by that?
I don't
There's
know.
gonna be AI doctors?
Yeah,
You know what ChatGPT is? It's this thing where you say,
Educate me.
all right, you say, I want an essay on the crime statistics in Chicago in the 1980s compared to Alabama in the 1980s. I want a 3-page essay. In 30 seconds, it writes it for you.
Now, when I was in college, I had to get someone to write it for me.
That part.
It cost me
and
about
it was
$100.
plagiarism. Wait,
Well, I don't know if my writer plagiarized it or not, but I know I paid him.
Yeah, that's plagiarism. You're using it.
so how?
So this AI now.
Wait a minute.
AI?
I thought AI. They talked about robots and
Well, it's just artificial intelligence. It's the software that's in there. So
artificial.
then
I'm
it starts-
still trying to get human intelligence
Yeah.
out there. And you're
So
talking
a
about
whole
artificial.
report will be done. How do you catch if that's real or not?
wow, if you're half a brain, you could tell that the student doesn't write like this ever. Or I'll say, oh, what's this word mean? Huh?
Well, AI is also like, they're getting cars to drive by themselves.
Yeah.
And that's all
Even though
part-
it still gets into accidents, but okay.
Right, but that's
So
programmed
what?
still. It's still.
So I'm a human driver. It don't matter.
I'm a human driver.
But the scary part is when they
That I'm
the
driving?
AI. Yeah, besides that, is then the AI starts to formulate its own thoughts. And it could be like, you know what, you're a
Oh my
bad
God,
driver. You
that's
shouldn't be going here.
scary.
I'm not taking you there. That's what your car will say.
But
to
they
you
don't
one
have
day.
no emotions.
How do I know?
I don't know.
That's
They can even be AI. Oh, well, we can't go there. So.
Yeah.
This is PG-13, so let's stop
That's
that right
scary.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
that's like
See,
seriously
you know
scary.
where
Yeah,
we're going.
exactly.
See, that's the AI in us.
And
Oh,
the-
I already know where you guys are going. I
Oh.
just wasn't entertaining it. I was just like, I'm gonna just keep
Can
it
somebody
super,
tell me where we're going?
super
I don't know where we're
Switzerland.
Right, that's what you
Super
said before.
Switzerland.
Super.
Mhm.
Say less, smile more.
Okay.
Yes, say less, smile
Oh.
more.
But additionally, I just want to put a little
I'm smiling right now.
a little plug for this. So for a coach soccer
We still
team.
talk- soccer?
I co-
Okay, let's go. We off the AI.
I forgot you were still here. I didn't hear you for a minute.
I'm smiling. Say less.
So I coached Garfield Middle School soccer, and I also coached the JV soccer. And we're having a fundraiser. I'm posting it tonight. I'm buying personalized hoodies for our middle school team with the name on the
Yes.
back and the number. And the past 2 years I did it, and everybody responds great with money. So if anybody's out there, you just take a look for it and trying to get these kids a nice little warm up jersey.
No money, no fun.
No money, no funny.
And then you
yeah.
have no honey.
Help us.
Right.
Help us
And
get
see,
the merch.
I had to write a song like that in college. That was my
Really?
song.
They
Yeah.
let you
You had a
graduate
song?
still?
I had to take Intro to Jazz, right?
Okay.
And this is back in like the 80s. I was a Cume booster. I wanted to take this easy class to boost my GPA.
Was it what booster?
Cume booster.
Oh, okay.
So I take this class, and it was probably the hardest class I ever took because everybody who took it was artists, and I'm not. I don't know anything. So, they're writing their own music.
Why would you take this class?
Because I thought I was going to sit there and listen to albums. Albums, everybody.
I'm like, wait, this is intro to jazz.
Do you know what an album
And
is,
you're
by
not,
the way?
yes, an album. Like,
okay.
are you saying like a vinyl?
Yes.
Yeah, that's retro anyway.
I thought I'd sit there and I'd listen to albums. And I said, okay, it's cool. So I'm listening to Thelonious Monk and Miles Davis and all these guys. I'm like, this is pretty good. I like this. I'm expanding my artistic palette. There you go. Thank you. That's why I bring them here.
Yeah,
he's your
AI.
Yes,
he's his AI.
He's AI. He's artificial. Insemination.
Terrible.
My parents are in Italy. They didn't hear that. Don't worry.
Terrible.
Don't listen to that.
Wait, so you wrote a song.
So at the end, it was like, now this was your final project and you had to write a song.
Yeah.
But everybody took it seriously. I'm just sitting there, all right. So at the end, people are writing these like 3-minute songs and this, and they're playing an instrument, piano.
Yo, you're messed up, Mr.
Violins.
Riggs. You're over here like they're taking this seriously. Yes, it's a course. These are people that want to sing jazz.
Yeah. Well, listen, why do you go to school to be an artist? If you know how to play an instrument, then
you are so
play
funny.
An instrument. So now, and this is in New Hampshire, so everybody in New Hampshire took, everybody hugged the tree in New Hampshire. So
terrible.
So now I didn't know what to do, so I only knew how to play a harmonica. And it was like that. So I pulled out the harmonica out of my pocket and I said, I got no money. That ain't no funny. So I lost my honey. Same verse as the first, and I kept repeating it for like about a minute. And when I was done, the person who followed me, everybody clapped. The person before me, everybody clapped. When I walked off, you could hear a mouse pee on a cotton ball. That's how quiet it was. They're like, what the hell is this guy? So I was at a B, and it dropped me to a D. And they're like, you can retake this course. I said, I'm graduating. I'm out of here.
Crazy?
And it dropped my GPA.
Even more?
Yeah.
This is an origin story.
I went from a 3.8 to a 3.7. No.
What's crazy is that a song like that nowadays will actually make money. Because nowadays just have one stanza.
Repeat and put a little
taking
trap beat in
copyrights
there.
right now. It's right here.
But this is an origin story because now I understand why he has these sayings that he always says.
Yeah.
Take care, brush your hair. Things like that.
Oh,
Take care, brush your hair.
I see some guy on YouTube always talking about that. He talks about food. He says, take care, brush your hair. I'm like, I've been saying that
Hey,
since.
if you're watching this, fella, we're going to sue you now.
I've been saying that since I was 6.
I was born first. I'm
a Gen X.
I'm a Gen X.
That knucklehead is like, he was born 7 years ago. He's using my line. Jack that kid up.
I'm sad. I love it. I love the energy right now.
It's great.
Good.
I mean,
that's because we had coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I want to shout out to Marvin for bringing the coffee, Marvin.
Yes, being the greatest barista.
By the way, mine's empty.
I'm
just kidding.
I was here on Sunday. It was 50 years of hip hop.
I saw you. How was that?
50 years of hip hop. It was pretty good. They had entertainers and dancers and
Did you perform your song?
You should have performed your song.
I did try to perform a song. See, listen, I'm into all kinds of music, but I like what I like. And back then I liked the Sugar Hill Gang.
Ooh.
Rappers Delight. So I tried to perform that. Hip hop, hip it to the hip hop. Stop and rock it to the bang. Sugar to the bottom of the book of the bean. That's all I know.
So
I've been saying that for the last 30 years.
Circling back.
Oh, going back to the Sugar Hill Gang?
No. When I started my podcast journey, I started off in Newark. It was a studio called A Squad Rebel Radio. The owner of that studio, Zay, that's his son. One of the sons.
From the Sugar Hill Gang?
Mm-hmm.
See. Yeah. That was the
so it's just funny that you mentioned that circling back to the podcast. So I was like, oh wow, there's connection. You know.
So it was funny because I said, I know hip hop started out in the Bronx and Brooklyn. Everybody yelled at me, Brooklyn. And I go, whoa.
No, but it did start off in the Bronx.
Wait, was it the Bronx or Brooklyn?
It was the Bronx.
No, I think it was Brooklyn.
Because they had underground. It was Cool Herc.
Look, anybody from Brooklyn will say Brooklyn. Anybody from Bronx?
No, it was the Bronx because the Bronx at that time was like not.
Well, whatever it was, I said the opposite.
That was late 70s though, right?
Well, yeah, it started late 70s because that's where like breakdancing and all of that came about because it was not developed so that they were.
I broke an ankle when
it started on Soul Train. They would start to do the breakdancing on that.
Yep,
you remember?
I remember.
They were allowed to have those parties where these freestyles were happening because people were not paying attention to that city as much.
Mm-hmm.
So people started coming. I remember like bringing those block parties, like Cool Herc with the speakers in
Yep.
the back
That's right. He was
seat.
one of the original.
Yeah, let me make sure fact check this
Well,
because
fact
I
check
want to
it.
be like correct. Where did hip hop? Yeah, I just had
See, if you had AI, you could ask AI.
right.
Hey, where did hip hop start?
You could.
Yep, Bronx Borough. See,
Oh,
Mina
so
Mendoza knows, and it was in the early
So I said
1970s.
Brooklyn.
See?
Brooklyn's
Yes,
in the
I mean, I'm
house
pretty
anyway.
sure people from Brooklyn migrated to the Bronx. And the end of the day,
course.
it's still
They're
New
all-
York.
yeah,
It's
they're
still
all-
New York.
mhm.
You're still the same person, all right?
No,
You're still in the same
listen.
state. Okay, true.
Queens is Queens, Brooklyn's Brooklyn, Bronx is Bronx.
And Staten Island
Staten
gets
Island, Staten
neglected.
Island.
Yeah,
That's where
Staten
Wu
Island.
Tang
New
comes from. So
Jersey.
that's okay.
Oh,
Staten's
man.
okay.
Staten Island's by Bayonne.
Yeah, but they got the Wu Tang
sad.
Clan, so
The
that's
Wu-Tang
That
Clan's
part.
from Staten
Yes,
Island.
they
Yeah.
are. Yes,
Don't we
they
have
are.
Queen Latifah from Newark?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, she's not that good anyway.
Well, she's a good. Yeah, she is.
Yeah?
Yeah, she
Okay,
is.
shout out to Queen.
Yeah,
now.
she's an actress too.
She's a good actress.
Yeah.
What did she ever sing?
I don't know. She's a couple good things.
Actress, I know.
No, she's a good actress.
She,
Yeah.
she did rap.
I know
She,
she
R.E. Wait, R.E. Not R.E.S. Wait,
Yeah, not.
Unity.
Yeah,
Unity.
UNITY.
Yes, I was like, why respect? But I was like,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
UNITY. Yeah.
She sang it
See, I
better,
like
yeah.
the Doors, strange.
No,
See,
you
I
like what's
like
that song?
Jim
Papa's got a
Morrison.
brand new bag.
okay.
Jim Morrison.
I love Jim Morrison from The Doors.
Yes, from the
He
Doors.
was really cool. You know that he actually was trying to be a movie director but failed.
Because he was high.
Yeah,
Maybe.
definitely.
But he became an artist because one person saw his writing at a beach and his first song was called Moonlight Drive. He showed it to the guy that plays the accordion
Yeah.
and he was
Ray
like, yo,
Manzarek.
man, you don't know how to sing, but you can write. And maybe you should pursue this other type of talent. So that's why if you notice, Jim Morrison's not really a singer.
I think he's a great.
But the way he performed,
right.
See,
he
I
was
think-
able to hypnotize people.
And
You know, because he felt it.
I think he hypnotized people too with the acid and the drugs.
Oh,
and,
for
sure.
You know, so everybody sat in there and they were all like, hey.
and he was a poet, and
And he didn't know it.
and he didn't know
Yeah.
it
It's like
until he
showbiz.
did. But when he
Did
was,
you catch that rhyme there?
yep,
I saw that.
yeah, we
Yeah,
tried to
yeah.
talk over you so they didn't have to hear it. But you know, you got through.
Yeah,
That was good.
I was a post.
Yeah.
No, try showing
when
it.
he was
I
a
feel
little,
like Eminem.
Who?
Eminem, the candy that melts in your
Yeah,
hands.
that's what I
Oh, I was thinking the rapper. I
No,
was like,
that-
oh, wait,
that's
what?
what-
I was like, wait.
that's what we meant. But when he was young, he was with his parents, and they saw a bus toppled over, right? Accident, and they're all like Native
Oh,
Americans on
yeah.
there. And he says that
He
something
saw it in
along
his
the
mind or
lines.
he real saw in life?
No, real life. That
Yeah.
the spirits came into him
Oh,
that day.
Jesus.
So then he started to write.
This is what happens, kids, when you do a little too much. You start seeing things that you shouldn't see.
Right. He was 7.
Oh.
Yeah. I always remember that. That's why he was
I
like
didn't know
so
he was 7.
Okay.
I thought he was 27.
Wait, well, that's when he died.
Oh,
Part of
okay.
the Forever 27
Him
Club.
and Janis Joplin, right?
And Amy
Jimi
Winehouse,
Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix.
Well, no, you mean Winehouse didn't die with
Yeah, she-
Okay, but she did.
No, she died, but they died
27.
like within a month apart or a year apart.
No,
Also,
they're all
Kurt
27
Cobain.
years old. Kurt Cobain,
Kurt Cobain was
27.
27.
Yeah.
And there was an artist from.
Chris Cornell died at 27.
Definitely
I
not.
just made it up.
Yeah, yeah. He
Wait,
was like
no.
50.
There's somebody else. He was a drummer, somebody from
Yeah.
Rolling Stone, not Rolling
No,
Stone.
it's a newer group.
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
I don't know, but that yeah.
He has a weird first name. We'll get to it. AI,
Wow.
where's AI?
AI.
Hey, you. How about
Okay.
you?
I have a question.
Hey, you.
That would be a good one.
I want to ask a fun question.
Okay.
I started off this with my interviewers the other day. I was like, I gotta come up with a fun icebreaker. So
Okay.
now that you have your talk show, we got getting you comfortable, and you're on a talk show. If you could get, so imagine you're a talk show. You have a talk show, right? If you could get any guest to be on your show, dead or alive, who would it be?
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive?
My
who would it be?
grandfather,
Your
he
grandfather.
passed away. He was a World War II vet.
Oh wow.
And he was in the Navy, and he was on like 3 battleships that got bombed within 12 hours of him getting off.
Oh my
And after Pearl
God.
Harbor, they went to Manila and hit there. And he said he had to fish bodies out of the water with like a pool skimmer. And so he was my hero.
Wow.
I was going to say
Big respect
grandfather
for that.
too.
Yeah, thank
Big
you.
respect for
I
that.
was going to say your grandfather
I just
too.
wanted to make it also hard for him to follow. How are you going to follow
Yeah, I was going to
that?
say my father too, but dead or alive.
And this could be an
Okay.
artist. This could be like anybody. You could
What?
bring Caesar back. Like anybody.
He's violent, I think.
I had
Anybody.
Caesar on my salad the other day.
He didn't have
I
a
would say
salad.
Jesus.
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 Okay, I think the
Jesus, Jesus Martinez.
Oh,
What?
that's a shortstop for you.
What is that?
No,
I'm
Jesus.
dead. Jesus.
No,
What would you
Jesus.
ask him?
I don't know. Well, now I got to ask a question to Jill. What would you ask Jesus?
What would I
Say, who
ask
cut your
Jesus?
hair?
No, what
I would
would I
ask
ask
him that.
Jesus? Oh,
Who cut your
man.
hair?
He did a lot of walking in
You
those
don't wanna-
sandals. He
but
did a lot of
maybe-
walking in those sandals. He died for our sins. If you know, he was tough as nails.
I would just say, are aliens real? Are
Right.
aliens real? Let me know. Why did you make the universe this big?
Ah.
I'll make it super
Do you
Switzerland because
think-
we are on a
Do you think
podcast.
aliens are real?
I just believe that we are such a small spectacle to not believe that there's other forms out there.
But do you think they're coming over here?
No, I agree with her.
I think they're out there, but
I don't
I don't
know.
think they have the technology to come
Not
on
even
down
that.
here.
Who knows if they even know? Like we don't know. Who's
I don't
from.
know.
Well,
They could be watching us right now.
Do you believe in ghosts and spirits that they come and see you at night and everything like that? You know, people say they see ghosts, they talk
This
to
is
ghosts.
what
I
look
want
at.
to, but I need proof.
Yeah, the only thing I
Because no
know.
one visits you.
Correct.
No one visit you.
You know?
Yeah, unfortunately.
only
Get used to that.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it actually.
So check this out. There is an experiment that happened in the late 1800s where,
How do you know?
because I study a lot of history. I was going to be a
Some
history
people
teacher.
read.
Oh, okay.
I like facts. I like random facts.
Okay.
As you can see, I already Googled 2 things in front
If
of
you had AI, you know, it'd be
Yeah,
easier.
but I do research my facts.
Okay.
I want to make sure like I'm not falsifying things. But there is a experiment that happened in the late 1800s where they were trying to study like scientifically like what happens to the body when it dies. And if spirituality
the body
is a
or
thing.
the soul,
Well, it's 2.
right?
So what happened is that they were able to put a body that was about to die on a bed, and the bed was created into a scale. And they couldn't explain why, because scientifically, if you die, you become
Heavier.
because
you're-
all your
you- rigor
organs are
mortis,
sucking
right?
down. Yeah, all your organs hang down. You know, it's all down.
wouldn't know.
Gravity,
Do you-
gravity doesn't exist anymore.
But if you're still 100 pounds and you die, are you still 100 pounds?
But all the gases
you're
come
heavier.
out too. All the gases come out eventually.
You try to carry a dead person, that is dead. That's why it's called dead weight, because it actually means something. But in the
We've been carrying some dead weight lately, huh? And then just leave it there. Drops my mind.
The point of the story is that when the person passed away, they couldn't scientifically explain it, but
Right.
the body got lighter.
I wonder by a lot. I wonder. It's interesting.
I will have to check what that is, but that is a true experiment, and they couldn't explain what that phenomenon was. It's kind of like your funny bone. They can't
Right.
explain that. They can't explain why a human body, when it yawns, you yawn. There's just certain
Like, I
things in
kinda
science you can't
hope-
explain.
I hope that there's
it's
something
like when he
though.
passes gas, someone else passes. He blames someone. I think he blames someone.
You see how he does that? He puts
I'm
he puts his
curious how
own
this Jesus
insecurities
interview
on
would go.
others.
I'm like, now with all these questions, I'm like, yo, what would he ask?
Editor's gonna have his
Why'd you
hands
make
full with
fights
this
about?
one.
I want to go back to the ghost because my wife believes in that stuff, and I know a lot of people believe in that stuff.
Yeah.
That the spirits visit you, or you can see spirits, or you go to certain houses and they're haunted.
Mhm.
And my only question is why is it always at night? Why is it always at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning?
Right.
That's
Don't
true.
these ghosts and spirits like got anything else going on in the daytime? Like how come someone's not walking through this door and go ooh ah, you know, a chair falling? So, you know, my wife thinks I'm nuts because I don't.
Not the only one.
Yeah, you know, I don't believe in it, and she believes in it, and I know there are people who believe in it. You got those ghost shows; they walk around with some toy, and they say, "Did you
They
hear
walk
that?
around with some
You know,
toy.
did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that?" And then there's that lady who could speak to people, say,
Like
"Oh,
a
you know,
medium?
a medium."
Mm.
You know, I'm an extra large myself.
I am
That's like-
dead. I can't die.
Oh, okay.
All the puns.
He's giving me the 2 fingers.
All
Double
the
edged.
puns.
Double edged.
All the puns.
But you know, even if it's not real, it will always have to be because it's
Well, if you
it's a
believe it,
big
then it
industry
is.
financially. Horror movies,
That's true.
you know, all that stuff. And
Don't be talking about my ex-girlfriends.
Oh
I'm
my
not
Oh,
because I
I'm
only
talking
think
about
of you
horror.
and your
Yeah,
wonderful
yeah,
wife.
Those are
Oh my
nightmares.
Nightmares. I'm dead.
But
That's that
I
Freddy
don't know.
Krueger stuff.
oh, well, that was in the dreams, right?
When I first saw Freddy Krueger, I was scared.
Oh,
But
I
think
was
of how
scared.
big an industry Halloween is
Oh, for sure.
financially. Horror movies, like it can't be physically proven untrue. So
well, it can't be proven true either.
correct. So therefore, it's you know,
Well, what did you say earlier? If you don't record it, it's not happening.
Yeah, if I don't record it, how do I know it happened?
If a
But that's
tree-
where we are now, you
Right.
know? Back then, we just had
So right now, this is
word of
happening
mouth. Yeah.
because
this
it's
is happening.
recorded.
Yeah.
All
We
right,
have
so,
evidence. We have proof.
all right, so if we didn't
cameras.
record it, it never happened.
Well, be word
See, they
your
could never
word
hold-
against mine now.
So they can never hold me to my words
if it never happened.
If we were never
Yeah,
recorded.
because it's
So they
recorded.
never heard me.
Correct.
Wow, this is some deep stuff.
But that's what I said. But that's how court
You know, I gotta
works.
get back to New Hampshire and hug a
But
tree.
if you record someone, you have to let them know. You can't be
So
shady.
now that's
and,
what
and
that
record
comes in
someone.
too.
So if I recorded you right now without you knowing, and I tried to, that's illegal.
It's illegal, but I feel like
Without you knowing.
you
Yeah.
would get
But
it
you
would be
know.
illegal, but you could still get the other
If
person
you-
in trouble,
no,
but
right.
you'll get in trouble
I
now.
get in trouble, yeah.
No, if you know
Exactly.
you're recording someone, then it's legal.
No, if I know I'm
Like
recording
consent?
you without you knowing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's not legal.
No, if all three of us are here talking,
And
and,
everybody,
and someone records us outside that room, that's illegal. But if one of us was holding a tape,
and we all
recording,
knew, right?
No, you don't need to know. In New Jersey, you don't need to know. If all three of us are sitting here in a room and I'm recording it and you two don't know, that's legal.
Ah.
But if some snake is hanging outside the door recording something, then that becomes illegal because
Right.
he wasn't part of the conversation.
And classless.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's because some snake tried to record us one time. You know, but they didn't get anything. You know, they got a couple adjectives, curse words, and stuff like
I'm
that.
dead.
You
I'm
know.
Not
dead.
us, by the way.
Yeah, it's some other person because you know.
So yeah, you know,
Okay. So I'm very curious, Mr. Riggs. Are you gonna give those shout outs that you owe?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I was like, hold on.
Do you have me and her? Forget it. You'd be
Wow.
great.
I got to give a couple shout outs to our Bergen County commissioners. You know, they're in charge of implementing policy and overseeing, you know, the funding to Bergen County. So the city of Garfield, our city council, we are supporting Raphael Marte and Joan Voss for commissioners of Bergen County. They do a great job. Make sure you go out to vote.
Yes.
Make sure you go out to vote in November. It's important, but you know, make sure you go out and you support Joan and Raphael.
And to
Yes.
There's my
piggyback,
shout out to those guys.
piggyback on that, as a nonprofit leader, I can't endorse political candidates. So that's not what this is about. In regards to strangers helping strangers, Commissioner Tracy Zer,
Yep. These commissioners do a great job in
She-
Bergen County.
her staff, and the rest of them have been by our side, helping us. Like they even would come down and get their hands dirty with us and work with us, like on the
Oh,
line.
wow.
Like they wouldn't just come picture and leave. They come and they
They're
stay.
like 100%
Like
engaged.
100%, they hooked us. They give, you know, they give us grants. They give out to other organizations, and they're just very supportive. So I have to give a shout out to them and thank
So
you.
Tracy Zer is the head commissioner or the president of the commissioners of Bergen County, and she was big when we talked earlier about you know with COVID and what brought you know certain people rose.
Yeah.
You know the commissioners really went above and beyond, and one of Tracy Zer's biggest. Well, she has a lot of great accomplishments, but what she has done is food insecurities throughout Bergen County. And she makes sure like Strangers Helping Strangers and other 501c3 organizations are helping out with the food insecurities. She always makes sure that they have enough food to feed, you know,
make
residents
sure,
of Bergen County
everybody's fed.
who need food and everything like that. And she's been very instrumental in making sure that these people get food and you know, Strangers Helping Strangers get that food to get it out to the public and everything like that. And that all started right around COVID time.
yeah.
You know, and she's been so all those commissioners they pick something they do and they all do it well and they go in there and they roll up their sleeves and they're not afraid to get dirty. That's why you know Joan and Raphael, you know, they're great for the Bergen County and they're great for the city of Garfield. And you know they got some great plans moving forward. So that's why we support them.
And they also so they had a hunger, hunger task force, right?
Yep, they have a
Food
hunger
security
task
hunger
force.
task force, and they got this grant. They had 3 rounds of it. $1 million was the first round, and the Health Barn was the nonprofit that got the grant with their help. Was in Ridgewood, so the Ridgewood restaurants would get the money for food, and they would deliver food to organizations during the week to give out. So we would get
Over like
1,200 in Garfield on Saturday and 800 in Elmwood Park on Friday every week. Hot meals from Ridgewood restaurants being delivered.
So think about that, like for like about 2.5 months. Well,
First round was 13 weeks. Second
Yes.
round was 26, and the last round was 13 again.
So restaurants, about 6 or 7 restaurants in Ridgewood would make food, you know, regular meals. What they always make, from chicken franchise to penne alla vodka to hamburgers,
And they were
to
healthy.
vegan food,
They had to be healthy as a
and
rule.
all healthy foods, salads, breads, dressings, and they would deliver it. Then the volunteers would come to
Right.
Garfield and drop off, from, Santoni's in Ridgewood.
Yeah.
Would be dropped off like 400 chicken franchises.
love
Right.
And,
And we organize it, bag it.
and other restaurants. And then, strangers will organize and bag it, make meals for 4. Then I would take it myself.
For the seniors.
For the seniors and for the veterans. We have a veterans home in the city of Garfield as well. And we'll take it to the veterans home, make sure we drop it off there so they have food for the
That's
week.
amazing.
Or seniors, every senior will get a food dropped off. So the housing will come by, pick it up by like 500 meals and drop it off at each senior house.
Right.
Knock on the door, put it right there. So, this is the type of stuff that they do
And
all the time.
our second round, which was 27 weeks, we had the most for each round. Not that that's important, but they wanted to come for the last time to deliver the food personally, all of them, and just see what we do. I'm like, all right, they'll come take a picture and go.
Yeah.
No. It was 13 degrees out, maybe. This video, they stayed and they rocked it out with us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They roll up their sleeves and they get
do.
dirty. They're not there for a photo op. They're there to make sure.
They care.
They're there to make sure that the right people are working and the right people are getting the food and things are moving forward. And that's why they're there.
And it's just a piece. Everybody's a piece. That's why it's like a wheel, right?
Oh, now we're getting into one of these type of things. Wheels.
He has a hard time with circles. I try to keep it simple.
I
So
like squares.
a wheel.
like
You put
squares.
one spoke in it, it'll break easy, right? You put
Yeah.
2, it'll break a little easy. You put a spoke his size in there,
This is like Confucius.
it won't break. But in other words, we're all spokes in the wheel. You know what I'm saying? And the more spokes in the wheel of humanity, the better we do.
Yeah.
And you could be a stranger
I
to
like the
somebody.
analogy now.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
This was trying to get past
Really,
it.
I'm still trying to figure out this analogy. We're a spoke in the wheel, a brick on the wall.
Yeah, that's how
Pink
his.
Floyd, by
yeah.
the way. You wouldn't know that.
What?
Pink Floyd, another brick
I
on
know
the
Pink
wall.
Floyd.
Yeah.
That's Dark Side of the Moon.
She showed
Oh,
you.
she knows the
She's-
dark side of the moon.
What is
but-
that song? It's like, you don't need no.
Yep,
Hey,
that's it. That's another brick in the
He's
wall.
like,
That's another brick on
What
the
did
wall.
he say? He said, you can't feed
your
the
meat
meat if you don't have your pudding. I see the
can't
mo-
eat the meat.
I saw the movie. Okay.
Oh, she squashed
Listen.
you.
I went to the concert.
Listen.
They had the big pig. They
Listen.
built a big pig, and they were bouncing it around, and then they were building the wall during it.
The Pink Floyd
Oh.
light shows.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a question for you, Jasmine. What's coming up? 2 plus 2?
I don't know.
Well, that's the question for you.
Oh,
Later. I give you the
okay.
softballs.
All right, yeah.
What's coming up next in your near future?
In my near future, I mean, I would love to just keep connecting and networking, but I would love to connect more with my town.
Mhm.
Like you were saying, like, how could we get more younger people involved? Like, I would
I said
kind of, yeah, you did.
Only kidding.
You always say that.
I know.
But it's like, how can we get the more younger generation involved? I would love to inspire because I come from Garfield. I grew up here.
Would you be interested in like speaking to the youth
Oh, for
after
sure.
school one time at a
I'm a
volunteer club?
podcast person. I love that. Like, I love to inspire. Like, I just want to be a positive footprint in people's lives, and I just want to like show them, like, hey, if you want to do something different, voice it. Don't be
Right.
scared to voice it. And I was also thinking of an idea for you, like,
Oh.
of like trying to get younger generations involved. Like, ask them what needs they need. Like, we are, like, even me, like, I am not in tune with an 18-year-old now. I would have to have a deep conversation, but it's like, looking
Blow
at your
minds.
classmates, what do you feel like is a need? What's a necessity now? Like,
Right.
what do you need to be successful? And then meet it through the middle on what the
Hygiene.
school needs too.
Well, that's
Story
yeah,
out
for
there.
middle
Fun.
school, yeah, for middle
But you know
school,
what I
yeah.
mean? And then like gather a group of people in that younger generation and see if something could happen with their needs, have them have more of that. It's almost like we have to rebuild the human being a little bit, especially because of COVID.
Yes, but that also being said, on the other side, some of these youth are just simply amazing, and how I don't ask them ever to come back. I
Yeah.
want them to want to, and they come. They
Yeah.
want to be part of it, and they care. But,
Well, I mean, there are kids who are just dying to do something.
yeah,
There are kids, and they just don't know where to go
Mm-hmm.
and how to get there.
a lot of shy, outcast kids.
Yes.
They
But
come
it's like
in
a
to be part
guidance.
of
I
it.
feel like they don't have anyone asking, like, what do you want to do that's going to make you happy? Like, for real, for real. Like, what do you want to do that's going to make you happy? What is the type of money you want to make? Like, let's not be unrealistic. Of course, I would love to make $90 million.
Right.
But let's be realistic because this is how the world is.
So those questions are geared to two sets. One towards the high school level kids, which is the money part.
yeah.
Middle school part would be more like, what's what do you feel needs to be changed? What's holding you back? What's in your way?
Yeah.
What are you scared of? What would you like to know about? Stuff like that. Yeah.
I would love to build more communication skills with these kids. I feel like
That goes back to what we said earlier, right? Some of
Yeah.
them don't have that.
but like they need that teacher. They and it also goes back to like kind of the basics. It's like, and I'm not saying it's the teachers are the problem, but
Because they're not.
you need they're not, but it's that inspirational, like you're gonna have to put in more work that you might not get paid for.
Well,
That's also the other thing
You know
now.
what it is that.
But like really being consistent with these kids and getting in times of what need, like, do I need to make a social media page in order to get in times with how things are? Is that what's needed? Because you also don't want to fall too behind where you lose the connection
Right.
completely. And I feel like we're at that stage where
And
it's like teetering.
It's a fuck.
I think the social media is really the downfall. Some of our kids are very influenced by the social media, like we talked about earlier. They're too busy to be on it, and they feel very brazen to be on social media or to talk however they talk, but they lose that interaction with their friends. All growing up, you know, we got thrown out of the house, go play with your friends in the street.
Once the light comes on.
Come home when it was dark, you know. And then maybe in the last like 10 years when social media really started to take over, you know, a lot of these kids, they'd rather just go home and talk to, you know, play video games, and they lose that. So no matter what happened, like somehow these kids got to get back outside.
Oh, for sure.
Get back outside, walk in groups, go play in the fields, go to the park.
When COVID hit in 2020, we were quarantined. So I started a virtual social club at the middle school. One night for each grade a week. So it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 6th, 7th, 8th. And we got about 15, 20 kids from each that wanted to do it. At 6 p.m., I made it at night. We'd all go on Teams virtually for an hour together and talk, you know, and hang out. And then we would order food. I would order food from small businesses for them and have it delivered to all their houses, and we'd have dinner together, you know? So it kind of kept them to like, oh, we're going to eat together. Like they never had like a dinner group like that, you know?
I remember when I was teaching, and I always used to ask, I think you were in the class at times too. I just remember teaching, and when we got into like family values, we always, I would ask the kids the question, how many of you guys have dinner with your family?
Yes, he does.
7 days a week.
He asked that question to me. He made me realize. I was like, damn, I don't eat
7 days.
I don't do that.
Or at least a parent, because you got to be careful now.
Well, I just said parents, and no one raised their hands.
Nope.
And I was like 5 days a week. No one raised their hands. I got to 3 days a week, and you got a couple hands. 2 days a week, you got a hand, and then a few more hands. And then it was like 1 day a week. And then there were kids who just never ate dinner at a table with their whole family.
That was me.
And you know, the kids grab, go, this and that, eat when they want.
But now it's not because your parents are, it's just they're working or this or that,
that
right?
was what it
There's
was for
always
me.
different
So
reasons
much going
why.
on, yeah.
You know, parents are, you know, when I was growing up, the parents were always home for dinner, and we came home for dinner.
Well, back then, we could have a mom be home, you know,
right,
raise
but
kids.
Today, you know, the parents are working. A lot of them are single parents. Kids are always doing something, so it's a lot tougher. But you do lose that, you know, element of where you sat around the table and you learned about your family's values
100%.
and philosophy. But you know, and just the discussion.
So it sounds like you need to get the kids and the families involved together.
You know, it's tough because parents do work hard. A lot.
No, I do. I get that.
Oh yeah. So,
but how do you stay consistent? It's like you could do so much with the child, but like I have an 8-year-old at home, and I'm breaking cycles. I guess you could say cycles that I grew up with that I break for him every day. Like like even
the habits, right?
Yeah, like even like, oh wait, I see myself doing something my mom used to do. No, I'm gonna be there for you. Like I grew up where my mom didn't tell me she loved me every day at all, but I knew she loved me because she worked hard.
Right.
She was just that type of person. But because of that, and I know how much it affected me, I tell my son I love him every day. Every day, even if he don't say it back, but he'll remember me when he's 30. He's like, my mom told me she loved me every day. And it's just like, I guess just those. That's what I mean. Like, I feel like that. I would love to help other parents feel empowered to build that relationship with their kids. Even if you can't do it every day, let's have a lunch date once a week where we can connect. You know, it's just that little bit.
Now, is your son in Garfield schools?
Yeah, he's in number 8 right now. He was in school number 5, but he's in number 8 right now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we could talk all day.
Yeah.
But we got to wrap it up.
We're out here being, what is it, Chatty Cathy?
Yeah.
Chatty Cathy's out here with the gift of God.
check us out on Facebook or Instagram. It's Strangers Helping Strangers. And, come check us out. See if you want to take part, help out. Just be part of
And the Queen of
Spice.
Queen of Spice. Check her podcast out.
The Mina Mendoza Show.
And
Like, share, subscribe. And also like, share, and subscribe to the City of Garfield podcast.
All right.
And thank you to Bravery Studios.
Yeah.
Bravery Studios. Let's give yourselves a round of applause. Guys, have a great day. Enjoy the evening, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Yes.